Hello everyone. Today's video is a crash course on how to use QuickBooks Desktop. So this will be a longer video compared to my usual videos. I will be using simple terms, so even if you don't have an accounting background, you will still be able to understand the process. And make sure that you finish this crash course because at the end of the video, I have a surprise for you that will be very useful in learning QuickBooks. I've been using QuickBooks for more than 12 years now, and I'm also working online as an accountant for 9 years. I was a QuickBooks Pro advisor in 2011, and I'm currently QB certified. I also do trainings, set up, and implementation of QuickBooks for local businesses here in the Philippines. I train the staff of my local clients on how to use QuickBooks, and I design their accounting system and processes based on QuickBooks. I've used all versions of QuickBooks Desktop. I've used the UK version, US, and the online versions. For this video, I am using QuickBooks Accountant Desktop version, year 2020. The company name is the Pediatric Association of Florida, and their main source of income is from membership fees from the different member city chapters in Florida. Other source of income is from the trainings that they conduct for their members from time to time and from sales of some merchandise like t-shirts, mugs, or other souvenirs. After I input the transactions, I will also do a complete bank reconciliation. The company file that I will be using is already created, but I will put in the link below on how to install and create a company file. Okay, so let's start. We will start with the chart of accounts in QuickBooks. I will click this. All right, so this is the chart of accounts. The chart of accounts is a very important part of accounting. We won't be able to proceed with QuickBooks without the chart of accounts. The chart of accounts contains all the terms or the words that we're going to use in our financial transactions later on. So as you can see, it has all your bank accounts and then the other current asset, fixed assets, equity accounts, and then income accounts and cost of goods sold and all your expense accounts. So how do we add an account to the chart of accounts? So just right click anywhere and then click new, or the shortcut is Control N. And then you choose what type of account you are going to add. So I will add a petty cash account. A petty cash account in QuickBooks is a bank type. So I will choose bank and I will choose continue. And I will type petty cash. I will leave the other information optional. I will click save and close. And this is for online banking, but of course we won't be setting up online banking. I will click no. Next is the items and services icon. I will click this. So the items and services icon is where we're going to list down the services that we provide to our members. And this is also where we're going to input the inventory that we sell. So we're going to add a service item, which is for the trainings. So I will click item here and then click new, or the shortcut is Control N. I will choose service item and the item name is trainings. I will leave the other information blank like the description, and I will also leave the rate blank since we don't have a fixed rate. And the account goes to the training income. It is in our chart of accounts. I will click OK. Next is we're going to add an inventory. An inventory is an item that we sell that we need to keep track of the quantity. I will right click and then click new. And then I will choose inventory part. So we're going to sell t-shirts, small size. And I will copy the item name to the description, to the purchase description, and to the sales description. I will leave the cost blank because QuickBooks will automatically use the average cost. And for the sales price, I will put in a fixed rate of $20. And the income account goes to the merchandise sales. Okay. The other information are optional. I will click OK. This is a spell check, so we can just disregard this, or we're going to uncheck this so that it won't be checking on the spelling from time to time. I will click OK and then close. Next is we're going to add customers. So I will go to the home page, and this is the link for the customers. We can also click this, or we can also go to the drop-down menu and Customer Center. I will click this. So as I've mentioned, our customers or our members are the city chapters in Florida. So I will add one. Just right click anywhere and the new customer, or you can also click here, new customer, or the shortcut is Control N. So I will be adding Fort Lauderdale, and we can leave the other information optional. These are the other tabs. All right, so we're good with just the customer name. I will click OK. Okay, next is we're going to add a vendor. So I will go back to the home page. This is the icon for the vendors, also here. Or we can also go to the vendor center from here. Here. Okay, so to add a new one, just like the customer center, just right click anywhere and the new vendor, or click this, new vendor, or the shortcut is Control N. We're going to add AIG insurance. We can leave the other information optional, but you can put in the phone numbers, the email, the payment settings, tax settings, account settings, additional info. So just like the customer center, I will click OK. So now we're ready to input sales transactions or income transactions. So if your income is paid right away with cash or it is deposited right away to your bank account, then we're going to use the Create Sales Receipts icon. I will click this. Okay, and the customer name is Fort Lauderdale. And deposit to, this is the bank account. The template is the sales form that we're going to use if we want to print the sales receipt. And the date is July 3, 2013. The year that we're going to use for this tutorial is 2013 because the bank account is 2013. This is the sale number. The check number is optional, and the item is membership fees. And I will put in a description since this is for the month of June. The amount is $60. I will click Save and Close. Okay, so let's check our chart of accounts. And let's double click our Bank of America account. So here's our $60 from the Fort Lauderdale chapter. Next is we're going to record an income that is on account, or in accounting, we call that accounts receivable. So accounts receivable are sales or income that are not paid right away. So they are paid on a later date by the customer or the member. So for that, I will click Create Invoices. And then I will put in the customer name. You can also add a new customer here instead of going back to the home page or to the customer center. I will click Add New, and I will add the Tampa chapter. I will click OK. All right. So this is the template, and the date is July 5th. You can put in the invoice number, PO number, the terms. Let's put in 15. Rep or the sales rep. Ship date. Via is the shipping method. And FOB is the mode of payment for the shipping method. So the Tampa chapter purchases 6 small t-shirts on account. So the quantity is 6. And the item is t-shirt, small. The price each is $20, so that's $120. Okay, and I will click Save and Close. And this is a question if you would like to change Tampa's terms to 15 days. So I will just click Yes here. Okay, and then let's go to the chart of accounts. And let's go to our accounts receivable. I will click this. Okay, so this is the $120 from the Create Invoice for Tampa chapter. So next is, we're going to receive the payment from the Tampa chapter. So I will click Receive Payments. And then I will put in the customer name or the member name. And the amount of payment is $120. And the date of payment is July 6th. And they paid via check. So check number is 456. And it goes to the Bank of America account. And it is a full payment, so we're going to check this invoice. And I will click Save and Close. Okay. Another way of recording deposits or sales is by using this icon, Record Deposits. So if you don't want to use the sales receipt form or the create invoice form, we can go directly to the deposit icon. So the money goes to the Bank of America account and the date is July 22nd. The memo is optional. So the money comes from the Orlando chapter and the account is for the membership fees. The memo is optional. Number is optional. Payment method is optional. And then the amount's $380. I will click save and close. Right, so let's go back to the chart of accounts and let's check how much we have in our membership fees account. So I will double click this and I will change the date to all so we can capture all transactions. All right, so this is everything that we have so far for the membership fees. So next is we're going to purchase t-shirts on account. We're going to purchase inventory. I will click enter bills. We can also add a vendor here. So instead of going back to the vendor center, I will click add new. So the name of the vendor is KJ Prints. The other information are optional. I will click OK. And the date is July 16th. I will put in a reference number. We'll put in the amount later on. And the terms is 30 days. So we should pay this within 30 days. And there are two tabs here. We have the expense tab. The expense tab is when you purchase goods or services that you don't do an inventory of. So I will click this. These are the accounts from our chart of accounts. And we use the items tab if we purchase inventory or items from the items and services icon. I will choose the small t-shirt and I will buy 75 pieces. The cost is $10 each. So the total amount is $750. And next are medium t-shirts, and it is not yet here in our list, but we can click add new. Okay, so we can also add it from here. And we're going to use inventory part. So t-shirts, medium. I will copy this to the purchase description and to the sales description. The other information are optional, and the income account goes to the merchandise sales. Right, I will click OK. And I will buy 50 pieces, $25 each. So the total amount is 1,250. And as you can see, this is the total amount of all the items that we purchase on account. Right, so this transaction goes to the accounts payable account in our chart of accounts since we're going to pay this on a later date. I will click save and close. I will click yes here so that the terms for KG Prints will remain as 30 days. Okay, so let's check our chart of accounts. Okay, so let's go to our accounts payable here. I will double click this. So this is our purchase from KJ Prints. Next is we're going to pay KJ Prints. So I will click pay bills. I will click the bill. So I will pay in full $2,000. And the date of payment is July 30th, 2013. The method of payment is check, and I will assign a check number since I will be issuing a paper check. And this comes out from the Bank of America account. I will click pay selected bills. Check number is 4567. I will click OK. I will click done. All right, next is I'm going to record an expense that is paid right away with cash or paid right away from our bank account. So write checks. By the way, the name of the icon is write checks, but it doesn't mean that this is only for writing paper checks. This is for all transactions that are paid right away with cash or money from your bank that the account type in the chart of accounts is bank. I will click this. Let's pay a vendor for some repairs and maintenance to the office. So I will add a new vendor. Add new. It's a vendor. Then the name of the vendor is Brent Johnson. I will click OK. And the date is July 31st. And the money comes out from our bank account, 7852 checking account. I will put in a check number. Okay. And the expense is for repairs, office maintenance, and the amount is $490. You can also put in a memo. It's optional. I will click save and close. Let's try to record some bank charges. I will be using the write checks icon again. So the money comes out from the same bank account. And this time we will not put in a check number. So I'm going to uncheck this because the money is automatically taken out by the bank from our account. So the name of the bank is Bank of America. The amount is $35. This is an overdraft fee. An overdraft fee is when you issue a check, but you don't have any funds in your account when the supplier or the vendor presented the check to the bank. So they will charge you with overdraft fee. So it goes to bank charges, bank service charges, $35. We can also copy the memo here. This memo goes to the bank service charges report when you will generate it alone. And this memo here goes to the report of our Bank of America checking account. I will click save here. And then if you're going to record some more bank charges for the same bank, QuickBooks has a duplicate feature so that it will lessen your data entries. Just right click anywhere and then just click duplicate check. Click OK. And let's change the date to July 3rd. The other information are the same. So for overdraft fee, for bank charges, and this is from our Bank of America account. So all we have to do is just to click save and close. All right, there. Let's try to create journal entries. So we go to company and then make general journal entries. We're going to use the same date, July 3rd, and the account is again bank charges, bank service charges. We're going to have a debit of $35, and this is for another overdraft fee. And the credit is Bank of America checking account. All right, so this is how we do a general journal entry in QuickBooks. You can also add multiple accounts in each journal entry. And a journal entry won't be saved if it is not balanced. Okay, I will click save and close. Next is we're going to create a bank transfer from our checking account to another checking account within QuickBooks. Okay, so we click banking and then transfer funds, put in the date. So transfer funds from our checking account 7852 and it goes to our checking account 5267. The amount is $600 and the memo is optional. I will click save and close. Let's go to our chart of accounts and let's check our other bank account. Double click this. So here's our transfer. So now let's check the movement of our inventory. I will click items and services. And then I will generate a quick report. So just right click and then quick report. Change the date to all. We purchased 75 pieces of small t-shirts from KJ Prints. And then we sold 6 pieces of small t-shirts to the Tampa chapter. So we have 69 pieces of small t-shirts on hand. So take note that a bill increases the number of inventory and then the invoice decreases the number of inventory. So now let's assume that we had an actual count on our inventory and we found out that there are 5 missing medium t-shirts. So what we can do is we're going to create an adjustment for that. So let's go to the home page and then inventory activities. I'll click the drop down arrow and then I will choose adjust quantity or value on hand. So the date is July 31st. The adjustment type is quantity and total value. Since the inventory is lost, I'm going to add an inventory loss expense account. So I will click add new and then it's an expense, inventory loss. I will click save and close. And the item will be medium t-shirts. So I currently have 50 on hand and in my manual count, we only have 45 pieces on hand. The difference is 5 pieces and the new value of the 45 pieces t-shirts is 1,125. I will click save and close. And let's do a quick report for the medium t-shirts, items and services. Right click and then quick report. Change the date to all. Okay, so we purchased 50 pieces and then we had an inventory adjustment of 5 pieces. We only have 45 pieces on hand. Next is we're going to do the refunds and credits feature in QuickBooks. So let's go back first to our customer center. And then let's go to our Miami chapter. I will double click this invoice. They informed us that there will be 10 participants who will come to our next seminar. So that's $150 each. Total is 1.5. And they paid this invoice on July 31st. But on August 1st, they informed us that there will only be 8 participants will come to the training. So in that case, we're going to issue a refund for $300 for the 2 participants. I will click Save and Close. Let's go back to the home page. So I will click Refunds and Credits. I will issue a refund to the Miami chapter, and that's on August 1st. So credit number. And the item is trainings. I will put in memo. And I will copy the memo here. So the quantity is 2, 150 each, $300. I will click Save and Close. And there are 3 options. The first option is retain an available credit. We will only choose that if the customer would like us to keep the amount for the meantime. And the other one, the third one, is to apply to an invoice. If they have another outstanding invoice with us, then we can apply the $300 to the other invoice. Their option is to give a refund. So I will click OK. In this case, we're going to issue a check for them for $300 here and issue this refund via check. And the account will be coming from our checking account. The date of the check is August 1st. And we're going to put in a memo. And then I will click OK. All right, there. So the money will come out from our Bank of America checking account. So we're already done with the basic transactions in QuickBooks. And the next thing that we're going to do is to do bank reconciliation. Here's our bank statement. This is a bank statement from the Bank of America. This is the name of the organization. This is from July 1st, 2013 to July 31st, 2013. This is the account number. And the beginning balance as of July 1st is $23.62. The total for the deposit and other credits is $12,524.50. Withdrawals is $4,295.99. Service fees or the bank charges is $129.95. So the ending balance on July 31st is $8,122.18. Let's start with the deposits and the credit. So I'll go to QuickBooks and then I will click the reconcile icon, this one. So we're going to do a bank reconciliation for the checking account 7852 and the date of the statements is July 31st, 2013. The beginning balance is 23.62 and the ending balance is 8,122.18. 8,122.18. This is optional because we have already entered this in QuickBooks. I will click continue. So this is our reconcile window and I have already recorded the other transactions. Let's start with the deposits. So we have $60, $105, $120, and then $380. So we're going to check these transactions if they're in QuickBooks. So we have $60. I will check this. And then $105 here. $120. $380. $200. 500. 11,136. And then 23.50. This 1,500 transaction is not yet in the bank statement because most probably this deposit didn't make it to the cutoff. So this is our total deposits and other credits, 12,524.50. Let's check our PDF file. Okay, that's equal 12,524.50. Let's go to our expenses or the checks and the payments. Scroll down. So the first one is 73.10. 73.10, I'll check that. $40.10, 0.03 cents, and then $490. The transfer to Johnson here. The date is wrong because it should be July 23rd. So what we can do is we can double click this and then change the date to July 23rd. Save and close. Yes. All right, there. Next is $2,000 here. And then the transfer to checking 5267, $600. Okay. Next is the card account ending in 7410. This bank account also has the debit card that they use for their purchases. So the first transaction is 12.29 here. Next is 11.77, and then $20, then $300. $20, and the other one is $20. It's not here. So the other $20 is not here. This one. It's an ATM withdrawal. So let's create a transaction for that. I'll go to the home page and I will click write checks. I won't put in a vendor name yet because it's an ATM withdrawal, so we are really not sure as to who the vendor is. So the date is July 7. $20. And for the meantime, I will use a temporary account, ask my accountant, because we're going to ask the holder of the debit card as to the actual nature of this transaction. Let's put in a memo. I will click save and close. Go back to the reconcile window, and here it is. Next is $300 for Hilton Tax Services here. Next is for Amazon Marketplace, 19.49. Amazon here. Oh, but the amount is 19.40, so we made a mistake. We will just double click this and then change the amount to 19.49. Save and close. Yes. Next page, 101.51, then 100. 101.51. And then $100 here. $60 and then 53.49. $60, 53.49. And then $40 here. Next is 20.63 and 16.55. 20.63 and then 19 point and 16.55 here. 9.83 and $5 here. And then 19.97 and $100. And $100, okay. 47.07, 45.53, and then $40. $40. 47.07, 45.53, and then $40. Okay. All right. And then let's go to the bank charges. So overdraft fee of $35 on July 3rd, 3 transactions. Let's go up. So it's here, 1, 2, 3. There's no vendor name. So let's put here Bank of America and then Bank of America. Save and close. Yes. There. Next is 14.95 and $10. 14.95 and then $10. Okay. So we will know that our bank reconciliation is successful if the difference here is 0. So it means that the bank balance is already equal or the same with our balance in QuickBooks. So in this case, we have a difference of $49.63. And as what I can see, it is for Marathon Petroleum. Let's double check our bank statement. So this is on July 29. Let's go back. July 29. Here. So we missed this. So 49.63. I will check this. Okay, so the difference is now 0. But as you can see, there is a $300 transaction and the date is August 1st. This is not in our bank statement. It's an outstanding check. I will now click Reconcile Now. These are our reconciliation reports. We have a summary report and a detailed report. So we're going to open the two reports. I'll click OK. So this is our bank reconciliation summary report. We have a total of 32 items for our checks and payments. And then for our deposits and credits, we have 8 items. And our cleared balance is 8,122.18, which is the balance in our bank for July 31st, 2013. These are our uncleared transactions. So the 1,500 deposit that didn't make it to the cutoff of the bank. And then we have an outstanding check of $300. So the ending balance in QuickBooks is 9,322.18. Okay, so let's go to the bank reconciliation detail report. So the same total for the QuickBooks balance, 9,322.18. And then the bank balance is 8,122.18. Okay, so next is we're going to go to our reports. So let's go back to our home page first. But before we will go to the actual reports menu, I will first show you other places in QuickBooks where we can get reports. So let's start with the chart of accounts. If you're going to double click the asset, liability, and equity accounts, you will get a register. This is called a register in QuickBooks here. But if you're going to right click and then quick report, then it will give you an account quick report with all the transactions for the account that you have chosen. Let's try the inventory asset account, Control Q for quick report right there. So if you're going to double click, it will give you a register. And then for the income and expense accounts, if you're going to double click, it will automatically give you a report. Income and expense account doesn't have a register, only the asset, liability, and the equity accounts. Let's go to the customer center. If you're going to right click and then quick report on the customer, this will also give you the transactions for a certain customer. So let's try another one. Quick report right there. And same thing with the vendor center. So just click on a vendor, right click, and then quick report. It will give you a report. Let's go to the items and services icon where we have our inventory and other services. So you can also right click and then do a quick report. Change the dates to all right there. And the inventory, right click, quick report. Okay, there. So let's go to reports and then let's start with the company and financial reports. Let's go to our profit and loss. Change the date to July 1st, 2013. Okay, so this is our profit and loss. So our income is composed of the membership fees and then merchandise sales, training income for our seminar. So the total income is 13,319.50. And then we have a cost of goods sold. This is for the inventory that we sold. Our gross profit is 13,859.50. And these are all our expenses here. Total expense is 1,825.94. And our net ordinary income is 12,000 $33.56. But remember, we have a $20 transaction that we don't know how to classify yet. So we put that under Ask My Accountant. We're going to deal with that later. We're going to ask our boss or the holder of the debit card. So our net income for July is 12,013.56. So not bad for our organization. This is the profit and loss detail. So it's a long report because it contains all the transaction for the month of July here. So just the same balance. It's just a longer report. Next is our income by customer summary or income by our members summary. From the Brandon chapter, 11,336, Fort Lauderdale, Miami, Orlando, Pembroke Pines, Tampa. So that's total of 13,559.50. So this is income per city chapter. And then we also have an income by customer detail, so just a detailed report. And then let's go to expenses by vendor summary. It's a very good practice to always put in the name of the vendor every time that you create a transaction or you create an expense or bill so that you will get this report for the expenses per vendor. Okay, so there's also a detailed report for that here. And then let's click this income and expense graph. And let's change the date to all. Okay, all right, here. So just a graphic representation of our income and expense. Next is our balance sheet report. Okay, so these are our current assets, our bank accounts, and then our inventory asset. We don't have any liability. We don't have any accounts payable. This is our opening balance equity, and then this is our net income from our profit and loss report. So this is our total liabilities and equity. And there's also a detailed report for that. So under the company and financial, there's still many reports that you can explore. And then the customer and receivables report are the reports for all your accounts or customer accounts. So any unpaid income, any unpaid sales by the customers. And this is our sales reports, paid or unpaid. We don't have this report because we're not a construction or a project-based business. Vendors and payables is for the accounts payable or purchases on account. Next is the purchases. So you can just explore that. And these are our inventory reports. We don't have the employees and payroll because we didn't do payroll in QuickBooks. Banking reports, accountant and taxes. So the trial balance, general ledger, journals, audit trail. And with our reports, we can also save them as PDF here. Save as PDF. And then we can also export them to Excel. Let's try. Create new worksheet. Export. So it's here. Okay, there. So this is our Excel exported report. And then we can also customize our reports. So the display, the filters, the header, and the footer. And we can also change the fonts and the numbers. All right, there. So these are all our reports. And if you already have a lot of transactions inside QuickBooks, then it's very nice to explore all of the reports. They're very useful to our business. So there, that ends our crash course in QuickBooks. Next is we're going to close QuickBooks. As you can see, we have many open windows. Before you log out, it's advisable that you close all those windows so that by the time that you open QuickBooks again, it will load up right away. So just click window and then close all. All right, so it's closing all the windows. Okay, so click file and then close company. Okay, there. So let me know if you would like to have a copy of QuickBooks. I can give you an old version so that you can also practice or you can use it for your clients if it matches with their QuickBooks file. I can also send you this bank statement so you can work on this and you can make this as your sample company file. And you can also do bank reconciliation since this is a complete bank statement. And I can also provide you with this QuickBooks manual. This is 2016, but this is applicable until year 2022 version of QuickBooks. This is 823 pages long, and it has everything that you need to know about QuickBooks. So all you need to do is just to subscribe to my YouTube channel and then take a screenshot of your subscription, send it to this email address, and I will reply with the license number of QuickBooks, a copy of the bank statement, and this QuickBooks manual. So I hope that you learned a lot of things from this crash course. And if you have questions or any suggestions for future YouTube videos on QuickBooks, then just comment down below. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope that you have a good one. For more QuickBooks tutorials, tips, and tricks, just subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thank you.